Well, welcome to episode 35 of the Realtor for Hoopers interview series. My name's Adam Kemp, aka the Realtor for Hoopers. Today we have a guest that averaged 25, 13, 7, and 5 blocks his senior year of high school. The 5 blocks is crazy, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, that's I don't know how I did that either.
All right, we'll get Trevor Baskin.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, man.
Every time I flick the wrist, you can bet that it's a switch. Realtor for Hoopers, welcome to the main event. I'ma give the people what they ask for. Whole squad moving like a task force. We move with military precision, accomplishing any mission. In 2020 division, just don't see no competition, don't see no opposition. We on top of the game, we not one and the same. I'm Stephen Curry, the range, I Allen out with the cross. I'm Kobe Bryant, the fade, I'm one that's calling the plays. Now what else more can I say?
So the first question we start everyone off with is, tell us your basketball story.
Well, it's a long story. I started playing basketball kind of when I was around 2 years old, and I always grew up playing all sports.
Yeah.
Was
you were just an athlete,
hyper competitive. Would try to cheat my older sister and beating her in Monopoly. I mean, I always wanted to win at everything.
Yeah,
I played all the sports, but always came back to basketball. I think that helped me a lot, honestly, with basketball, is playing different sports.
Yep.
I mean, giving me a change of skills, gave me some advantages, and then just continued to play as much as I could. I mean, my dad, being a basketball player, I think definitely kind of helped me, inspired me to be a basketball player, and he was my coach growing up from till I was 2 till throughout my high school career, and was always very eager to get better, and a little I'd say a little hyper fixated on basketball, but was kind of underdeveloped, skinny, scrawny kid growing up throughout high school, and was just trying to be patient as possible. I loved basketball, knew I always wanted to play it. Call it in the collegiate level, and then
you went to Pomona High School in Arvada, right?
I went to Pomona High School in Arvada. Played 4 years there. Started there as a 5'9", 5'10" scrawny freshman wearing size 14 shoes. I like to say I used to look like an L just because I was short, but I had massive feet. So I knew I was going to grow at some point. And then I kind of hit that growth spurt in between my sophomore and junior year, where I grew from like 6 foot to like 6'7" in the summer. Didn't sleep much. And then I kind of lost a little bit of coordination. And then my senior year kind of gained some athleticism, but I kept the guard skills that I tried that I was able to learn when I was shorter and stuff like that. And then after high school, was a little under recruited and went to Colorado Mesa University, where my dad went. And I always like to say that's the best decision I ever made. Had an amazing 4 years there, and graduated with my degree in finance and marketing, and was lucky enough with the COVID year to get a fifth year of eligibility, and I used it to transfer here to CU for my final year, and finished it out and had a blast.
That's awesome. And we're sitting here in the CU basketball locker room. These chairs are amazing, and we're having a good time in here. So now, and you just graduated, right?
Yep, just finished my master's. Got it done in 1 year.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's good.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I knew it once I was not in Colorado anymore, done playing here, I was going to lose a little bit extra motivation to do the schoolwork. So I wanted to get it done in one.
That's great, man. Yeah. So you've graduated now with not only your undergrad, but also your master's. So talk to me about kind of what your goals are from here, from like not only on the court, but off the court.
In terms of on the court, I mean, I just want to continue to play. My goal is to play professionally at the highest level. Not sure where that is yet. It's all very much up in the air right now. Just focusing on getting better every day. Obviously NBA has always been my goal, and I'll get some opportunities to work out for some NBA teams, but a very likely scenario is that I go overseas and go to Europe and play basketball in Europe. And in terms of off the court, I'm a pretty laid back guy when I'm not playing basketball. I like to just hang out and honestly just enjoy being with my friends and family. Whether that's golfing or going boating or fishing or just being outside. I'm a Colorado kid through and through. So, I mean, there's plenty of things to do, and Boulder's a great place to do that. And be really excited. I'm just really excited and almost like butterflies because I don't know where, for the first time in my life, I am not going to be living in Colorado unless I play for the Nuggets. But that's the more likely than not, it's going to be somewhere else. So it's all kind of, I'm not necessarily sitting on pins and needles, but I'm just kind of here waiting. Yeah, and figuring it out, and it's exciting though. It's an exciting.
I was gonna say there's an excitement in the unknown a little
exactly.
bit.
Yeah, the unknown is something to look forward to.
Well, sweet.
Yeah.
So next question is, since I'm an old hooper and I never lived in this NIL world that has come about, and so when I interview anyone that's your age or even younger, all that is just to kind of get your thoughts on that, on the current NIL system. What are the benefits of it? Any drawbacks? Kind of what your overall thoughts about?
It's a very complex and like interesting idea and like concept, because I went to a school for 4 years where NIL wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So like I feel like in a way I had an experience where I was just like a regular college athlete. I mean, in Division II, you're not getting paid to do this. I mean, you're cooking your own food. You're basically a regular student athlete. And I think there's a lot of benefits of that. I mean, I think it develops and builds culture and character. I mean, with my team at Mesa, we played together all 4 years. We had maybe one guy transfer, and that was to go to make the jump to the Division I level. But everyone who's there wanted to be there, and we weren't worried about NIL. We just wanted to play basketball and have fun and be with each other. And then I kind of got introduced to the NIL thing when I decided to transfer for my last year. I mean, it made sense I wanted to take that challenge to go to a higher level and make money. And I think the NIL in general is a good thing because student athletes are making money for the university, but right now the state of college athletics is not where it should be. I think we went from getting paid no money to now the Wild West, where you're hearing stories of like the quarterback at Tennessee transferring because he's not getting paid enough, and I think that is kind of harming some of the what makes college athletics so special. Yeah. So I think overall, I really do think that NIL is beneficial, and student athletes deserve to get paid, and that was also a thing of why I'd want to go. Cause I could easily have just stayed at a Division II level and had another amount of success, but it's another incentive. But overall, I think there needs to be some regulation in terms of how many times you can transfer, in terms of maybe signing people to contracts. I mean, and that is a real possibility at this point. Cause I mean, you're getting players that are transferring 4 times in 4 years, and it's just asking it's basically a bidding war. And I think that's taken away from the game itself and and why we play in it for the first place.
I've got a few thoughts on this. So one, I think, again, I agree with you that NIL needed to happen. NIL, that needed to be a change. Now, there also needs to be some regulations on like who you can get NIL money from.
Yeah.
How do they actually get that money? Because there's lots of stories of like, hey, we've got $300,000 from you, and it's getting paid by some business and they actually never get paid.
Yeah.
You know, all those stories are out there. And then you talk about like with the transfer portal and things like that, where sometimes I think players are transferring to follow the money.
Yep.
Where it's not necessarily the best thing for their athletic career in the end. Where I wish, because I think part of the specialness of college athletics is if you lose playing time or you have to earn playing time or after whatever, you have to like figure it out. Like, and once you graduate, that's kind of life. There's a lot of times you like, I like, if you don't like your current job, you can quit, but there's not someone necessarily offering you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to figure it out at that job, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's just some life lessons that are not being learned as much in college athletics with this transfer portal NIL system.
Yeah.
Which I think we'll figure it out. It just needs to be tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean you go from 0 to 100, and you got to dial it back to 50s. So it's 100. You're 100% right. I mean, because like when the going gets tough, you got to learn how to deal with adversity and deal with things not going your way. I mean, and I think that's what makes college athletics so awesome is stuff like that. And when you aren't learning those lessons now in a place where you don't have to worry about getting fired or getting cut or you're
having family
or having a family. Yeah. You're 18 learning these lessons, not 35 or 20 something, or like because then you learn those later on. It's
for sure
you're out of luck.
For sure.
So I definitely understand that. So I think there needs to be regulation. I mean, and I think it will happen. I mean, there's always chatter, and it's an ever changing world right now. And I'm very curious now that I'm not in the college athletics world to be like, oh, like this makes sense. But no, it's you're 100% right. The development is not where it needs to be in terms of.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts because like you're going to get a little bit of it now because like from like an outside looking in, but like kind of understanding how you've been a college athlete and you're whatever. So now you're trying to like, how does it actually look like for guys like you who were in it? Like, how does that is my perspective of what that world looks like the same of what they're actually, so I appreciate you sharing.
Of course.
All that.
Of course,
so I got a surprise question for you. And I like to do this every once in a while where you actually don't know what question I'm going to ask you. Okay. So you have to go back to your whole career. And if you need to tell me there's one moment you want back. And it can't be like a team thing. It needs like to be an individual thing where you weren't at your best or something where you want that moment back in your career because it could have and it doesn't mean that changed the rest of your career or anything like that, but just something that lives in the back of your head because I think we all have them.
That's a good question. That one's gonna
and I like to spring it on because then it's like what first comes to mind when I ask that.
No, I mean, there's a lot of moments where like it was like, oh, I wish I could get that shot back, or I wish I could get won this game. But those are kind of easier questions. I'd say maybe like, wow, that is difficult. I would say maybe senior year of AAU. I think because this was the year where I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. I was like, all right, this is the year you got to get recruited.
Yeah.
Most important year in terms of recruitment. And my body was just like betraying me. And like, in terms of like, because I'd grown so much, my knees, I couldn't run. I had Osgood slaughters, so I couldn't run or jump, couldn't do anything. And my confidence just like absolutely shattered. And at one point, like I remember just was saying stuff about myself that I don't think I ever should have said about myself. And I think I was.
So your internal dialogue was.
My internal dialogue was horrible, and I was being too harsh on myself. And I think that did a lot more damage than I thought at first. And it took a long time for me to kind of get that confidence back and get that talking. Because if anyone ever else talked to me like that way, I genuinely have to try to fight them. I mean, I couldn't like. I'm not a guy who gets into altercations, but the way I was saying like stuff about myself was not
that's crazy.
Any way to talk about someone. So I mean, I think that's one that comes to mind. The first game that comes to mind is the RMAC championship my senior year. But that's another thing. I played well, and so there's nothing I can really be like, oh, I wish I made that shot or missed it. But we lost that game as a team. And it was a tough hard pill to swallow.
You're never going to forget that loss.
No. It was at home, sold out crowd versus Fort Lewis, a rival, a team that was, I think we were both top 5 in the country at the time. And we started off great and just couldn't rally off. We had a bit of a hangover. We started off great and then
They went on a run, and
they went on a run, and we ended up losing by like 5 or 6. But Obi Agden is the reason for that. So we're buddies, but it's definitely there's definitely a bit of
you can't look at him the same way ever.
No. Yep. But to be fair, I did end his career at Fort Lewis. So we got our revenge, but I would have rather won.
Yes,
I would have much rather won that game at home.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, so go back to the internal dialogue, man. I really appreciate, like, one, the vulnerability you showed in that, and two, like, the power of, like, just like internal confidence having, and how some players can struggle with that, and it doesn't matter like on what level you're at. Like, people can see, like, he's a D1 athlete. He should always have just had this amazing confidence because he's really good at basketball, and like that's not always the case. Like sometimes you gotta psych yourself out, of those little down swings. And if you're in a slump, or if your body's not feeling it, sometimes it's hard to get up and practice or lift or whatever you need to do.
No, so. I mean, I went through a lot of that this year. I mean, going from Division II school where I was, in a way, big fish, small pond in terms of
you were the guy.
I was the guy, and I mean, it was kind of like going to college all over again, where it's just like I took a step up, and everyone was bigger, more athletic. And it took a little while in the summer to adjust, but I knew it was gonna be an adjustment. So that one wasn't when like I got down to the dumps. It was when we started losing. That was when I was like, oh, lose. I've never lost that much in my life. I mean, we started 2025, and it took, I think, like a month for us to win our first game, and it was just really being resilient. That during that time, I was doing everything in my power to not negative self-talk, and it was difficult. I mean, I'd still do it, but there's always gonna be trying times. I mean, no matter where you're at, no matter what it perceives to be on the outside, there's always more that's going on than behind the doors. And it was definitely, so it made me stronger in the long run, and that's great. Excited.
It's only going to make you a better human going forward.
Exactly.
I love it, man. Exactly. All right. So next question is, what is a fun fact about you that not a lot of people know? And something like, don't give me like, I like to play golf, like, or whatever. Like, give me something that's like.
You ever seen the show Tiger King?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Trevor Baskin is my great aunt.
Whoa.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
That's always my truth and a lie. If I do that, that's my
had
lie.
Me.
Yeah, no, I could sell that. I usually sell that. That's whenever we did two truths and a lie for like media day or something. That would always be.
So when that show came out and they saw her last name, you're like, come on.
I still get it from the girls on the volleyball team. They always go, Trevor Baskin. I'm like, come on. That was like, it was 5 years ago. Giveaway. It's not a thing anymore.
That is a good one. I like that, Trevor. That's good.
I mean, I'm ambidextrous. I think that's a kind of fun fact. But
wait, like on what level?
I eat and write with my left. I can play baseball with my left. Like I could switch hit. I wish I could shoot as well with mine, but that's not.
Like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way you can shoot with your left.
No, I think if I put in enough work, I think I could do it. But it's not something that
it's not really an asset on a basketball.
No, I mean, it's not. You're never going to switch. You're never going to need a switch shoot
as long as you can finish with your left. I don't really
exactly. No, that's all you ever really need it for. I think that. I mean, that's one.
Ambidextrous is a good one.
Yeah. I think that, that's the funnest fact I can think of off the top of my head.
No, it's like that. That's good. I mean,
I've never tried a salad until I was in college. I mean, that's.
Were you just a picky eater, or were you just like?
I just never had like, it was like, you want
it
salad?
It just wasn't a family thing?
No, I mean, my parents would always eat salad, but I guess I would say I was a bit of a picky eater. I wouldn't. Like I'd eat vegetables, but just like, as soon as it got to salad, like, get that out of here. Get that out of here.
You wanted warm vegetables, not
warm. Yeah, warm vegetables.
Okay.
But no, it was never. I never tried salad until one of my roommates made me try it, and now I'm a Caesar salad guy. I tolerated it. Yeah, so it's
I got you. Well, trust me, you're gonna be eating more and more salads as you get older because you can't.
No, I can't live on.
You can't live on cheeseburgers and pizza and eat like a college kid your whole life. Trust
Unfortunately,
me.
No.
I wish I could to this day. All right, man. Well, 2 more questions. and this is kind of I'll let you kind of say what you want here, but if anything, whether you've said it or not, or whatever, what is something you want people to take away from your story, or you want people to hear, or what is something that you want to be intentional that is said during this?
I'd probably say don't compare your journey to others. I'd like you always hear the saying, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that, like I genuinely believe that. Because I mean, out of high school, I was extremely excited to go to Mesa and extremely excited, but I was always like a little jealous in terms of like, oh, like why, like, and they're all my friends now. Like Luke, I was like, oh, he's at CU. Like, why am I not getting recruited by him? Or Neek, why is he's at CU? Like, I want to go. Like, and it's kind of full circle that I'm here now. But like, I would always like, I would compare myself to other teammates, and I always found myself just driving myself crazy. And it was doing no good. And I mean, just don't compare yourself to others, and then just trust the work you put in. Because I mean, if I compared myself and just didn't work out and just felt sorry for myself, I wouldn't be here today. I mean,
no,
and I wouldn't have played 4 years and won as many games as I did, and I wouldn't have been here. And I think I wouldn't have traded my college experience for the world. And I think if I had gotten too caught up in comparison, it was like, oh, this guy's playing, averaging this, and this.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have appreciated what was in front of me and what was going on as I was playing. And I think that was very important for me to kind of acknowledge. It was like, they're on their journey and I'm on mine, and I'm coming on that right now. I mean, it's easy for me to say, oh, this guy's at the combine, this guy's doing this and that. And I'm at this point, I'm happy for everyone. I hope everyone the best. But I can't control them. I can only control myself. So
love it, man.
Yeah.
No. And I think especially it's really good for every youth basketball player to hear that, because I think more and more youth basketball players are like, I'm only going to have success in a long basketball career if I go directly D1 and play for a blue blood school and whatever. Like, that's not the case. You can have a really good long basketball career. Yeah, it may not be in the league, but that bucket is that big.
Yeah, no,
so like, hearing there's different pathways to have a pro career in basketball. Yeah. And that can be on the Division II level and never even getting to the Division level. There's lots of people that had amazing success and are playing today from like playing in a D3 school.
Yeah, you hear stories. I mean, you hear stories every year in the draft, or you hear about an undrafted guy who played Division III. I mean, Duncan Robinson. Yeah. I mean, Derek White is a great example. I mean, there's so many people that and I feel like all of them kind of did the same thing, whereas they buckled down and just got better. And I think that is very important, is like put in the work and trust that. And that's all. I mean, control what you can control at the end of the day. I mean, that was very important. But no, I mean, everyone dreams about playing and for Duke or Kentucky or Kansas, stuff like that. And I mean, I remember I had those dreams. I mean, I was watching Coach K and all those Duke teams. Like, I want to play for Duke. Like, and it's sometimes that's only 15 people a year get to be on a Duke team, and that's just the way it is sometimes.
Yep. And that doesn't have to bring you down or anything like that. Just like you said, keep putting in the work in, and there will be a spot for you at some point.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right, man. Well, last question, and sometimes it's the hardest question, but you got to pick one thing. What's your favorite thing about basketball?
I'd probably say getting to be on a team. I think that's 100% the most fun thing, because it's a team game at the end of the day. I mean, you love hitting a game-winning shot in pickup or in a game, or dunking on someone. Yeah. I mean, all those are awesome, but it's not fun if you don't get to share with your buddies. Yeah. And I think that's why I'm so appreciative of being at Mesa. I played my best friends for 4 years. Got to share moments, got to share all the highs and lows with them. So I think like the most happy I was whenever I was with them, and we would be on the bus rides, on team dinners, and just hanging out, or just hanging out at each other's houses and stuff like that. So I mean, I think everyone is always worried about just being in with a good group of guys is probably
Yeah, I love it.
Is the best thing about being in basketball. I mean, if you wanted to be by yourself and play an individual sport, you can do golf. I love golf. So
Yeah,
you know,
you can
there's nothing wrong with golf, but it's not the same. And I mean,
I think there's a lot of people have answered that question with the like relationships and camaraderie that you get in the game.
Yeah.
Like, and there's just being part of a team that, you know, those relationships never go away.
No.
You know, your career may be over, but you're still going to have a relationship with Julian Hammond.
Yeah.
And you're still going to have a relationship with the other guys on this team and all your Mesa teams and all your Pomona guys and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So that is a very beautiful part of this game.
No, I think I've been very lucky. I've had 5 years of great teammates. I've loved every single one of them. Because you'll hear a horror story about, oh, this guy was a jerk. This guy was a head case, this and that. But I've been lucky here. I mean, that's what I was a little worried about. I was like, am I going to like everyone on the team here?
Yeah.
And I've loved every single one of them. They're all great human beings. And yeah, no, I mean, I think if you actually ask, like most players, that's what I'm going to miss most about being here, is being with the guys and hanging out. I mean, it's really it's the stuff that happens off the court that you're going to miss the most. I mean, the games and stuff are obviously unforgettable. Getting to play at like Allen Fieldhouse and all the in Maui. I mean, growing up, those were my dreams. But I'll look back on those moments very fondly. But the moments I'll look back on even more is me hanging out with the team.
Yep, sweet. Well, Trevor, man, I'll leave it at that. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud. See you, man.
Every time I flick the wrist, you can bet that it's a swish. Realtor for hoopers, welcome to the main event.